Happy Thursday, everyone! Welcome in. Hopefully, everyone's week has gone good. If not, TJ and Mariah is going to turn that around.
You better believe it, man.
Hey y'all.
It's good to have you all back, you know?
Yeah,
It's good to
I'm
be back.
quite excited. We got the whole crowd back, and it's a good time. We're
Yep. Before we
reunited.
get too far, I do want to shout out my last week's guest, co-host. I've been getting a lot of comments about that. They're saying she did a great job. So,
Yep,
Mhm.
Trisha, if you're
Trisha.
here, if you're listening, he did a phenomenal job. People are loving it. So, here's some encouragement. Go ahead and maybe do some more content. How about that?
Yep, she did a great job. It was a lot of fun having her up here. We
Absolutely.
learned a lot about tissue cultures, so
Mhm.
it's a great time.
Which I actually almost bought some yesterday.
You
Because of that.
almost bought some yesterday?
Yeah, but I said, you know what? Maybe I'll refrain for another week
Just to
before.
make sure. Got it.
And with that being said, there is a convention in San Antonio next week, the Lone Star Cares convention.
Yeah.
So we won't be doing a normal Thursday night live stream next Thursday. It'd be cool if we could do maybe a podcast or live stream throughout the weekend next week. And also this coming Saturday, there won't be a live stream. A Saturday night vibes. My church, we have a field trip planned, so that's going to fill in the whole Saturday night. And then next Saturday is the convention, So there again, maybe if local lost someone, hey, if we can wag it together, maybe we will. If not, I guess we'll be back the following Thursday. So stay tuned.
Yeah, there's got a bunch of things going on, so that's good. We'll take a little recess. You usually do some content from the events, so
Yeah.
right, that'll be good.
All right. Hopefully everybody can bear with me. Vibes tonight. He's trying a different microphone out. If y'all are hating it, let me know. Message me. Tell me about it. Because if it ain't going good, I can always quit doing this one and in the future go back to the old one I used to use. But I'm testing new waters. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm testing some new waters. So bear with me as I do that.
It's funny that you said testing new waters because it almost sounds like you're slightly underwater.
Indeed, it's not,
That's
the
what.
settings aren't
Yeah.
quite right vibes, but
It needs tweaked. What
yeah.
I need is my buddy Jake to come down here and do the tweaking for me.
Oh boy.
You almost sound like an old school sports announcer from like the 50s
Yeah, Nancy B said it
on
sounds
the
like a
radio.
transistor radio.
It's kind of cool.
How about that? Is that better?
Oh, Steven says the gain is super
Is that
high
the
on the mic.
helium voice?
No, he this microphone's got a whole keyboard that goes with it, so it's got all kinds of sound effects and all sorts of stuff.
I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. So
Steven said the gain is really high, so turn it down.
is that a lot better?
We're getting there.
I
Can we go?
turned it down. I turned it down.
Keep going.
Is it better? Sorry.
Mm.
I mean, if this isn't too much for y'all, I can, pause for about 5 seconds,
Nope.
maybe half a minute, and get the old mic back up and running.
Nah, don't worry about it. It's okay.
Audio is peaking. Yeah, Sam. Yeah. Anyways, okay. So a topic for tonight, y'all.
Yeah.
What is it?
Our top 5 favorite fish behaviors.
Whoops, I goofed up on the topic. I said our top 5 favorite behavior.
This one. The unconditional love.
Yeah, that's good.
Aww.
He was playing right along.
Yeah. I think Mariah just took us to the next test. TJ, I think we'll have to bring our own fish or whatever to the live stream to show as well.
We need our own mascots.
Yeah, own mascots,
King just
props,
makes his
etc.
appearances. Y'all know he loves his cameos.
He does. There's nothing wrong with that. We're happy to have him as a 4th member of the team. So yeah, so the idea is, and I guess it doesn't have to be fish, right? It could be anything aquatic, but the idea behind it is I think that there's just a lot of really fascinating behaviors that occur. And I thought it'd be great for us to just pick our top 5 favorites each and just kind of talk about them. All right. And we can introduce the topic and ask each other questions. And I think the 5 that I had are all very different, and they're quite interesting in the way that the fish end up behaving in different ways and how it impacts different parts of their lives. So I just thought it'd be something fun, a little more science based than maybe what we always do.
Ooh. So in other
Maybe.
words, if Vibes didn't prepare for that,
Then it's going to be an awful short list if there isn't one.
I did, true, but I learned some new stuff in the whole thinking about it, doing a little research. So that was cool.
Me too, right? There's some things here that I didn't know. For each of my top 5, I have a source that I found. A lot of them are from different types of journals, right? So like periodical, scientific related journals. And yeah, I've got a few of them. I've got some fun facts, right? So some things that maybe weren't the initial thing that I was looking to talk about, but they were incidental things that I learned about the particular fish throughout that process. So yeah, I just think it'll be fun for us to kind of bat this one around and see what you guys all came up with. I'll be excited to see, did we come up with completely different ones? Are there any that are kind of the same? So I just thought that, I just thought it'd be a fun one.
Sounds like a good topic. I'm excited.
Yeah, Steven says I like the way
I know your list is going to be long.
my list.
Mm-hmm.
Just five. I didn't go beyond the 5.
You were talking about you couldn't even fit them on sticky notes. You had to bust out the notebook. If you busting out the notebook, then I know each of those 5 have bullet points.
Oh, very fair point. Very fair. Yes, you are correct. You are correct. It is multiple pages for 5 items. Yes.
See, yeah, you thought you had me. Nah. Oh, it's just 5. Yeah, okay. We know you, TJ. You thought you was slick.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Oh, you've been gone for too long, Mariah.
Yeah.
Are you
too long?
Oh my gosh, you're back.
Yeah, I went and hooked up the other microphone. Is that okay?
Yeah. This is good.
I'm back. He's back. You back. We all back.
Steven said the question is, who doesn't have archer fish on their list? I do not have archer fish on their list. With that said, I did think about Archerfish, but I did not put them on my top 5.
Now this is weird, y'all.
What's weird?
I went and unplugged the other microphone, and the keyboard is still on.
Okay,
Oh, does it charge? Maybe.
maybe,
That's weird. Anyways,
maybe.
Anyways, we're back. Sorry, folks. I definitely need to do some more.
Yeah,
Testing.
you're a little loud now. Maybe turn the volume down a little.
Okay, hold on.
All right.
Yeah, now you sound like gold.
Okay. Is it better?
Beautiful.
Is it too loud?
Yes, much better.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's good.
It just that it sounds like you're yelling. Not anymore. You're good now.
My folks, I'm sorry, folks. That is not my intention at all. So.
Just scream
Yeah.
facts at us.
That's it. That's all we want them to do. Just scream facts.
That's the whole channel, just screaming facts.
But
Did
do
you
it-
know that?
Exactly. Well, Burton, I mean, I might need to give it another try.
Can you go up just a skosh? Just a little. Up on volume for you. Just a little.
Right.
Just
How
a
about
little.
now? Better?
Beautiful.
There?
Love it.
Okay.
Love
Wow. Technology is not my thing, y'all.
it. It's okay. Oh, vibes. Red
Yeah.
Laser wants to know, why are you always yelling? Look what they did there.
Whoops. I goofed up.
Where's Sam? Where's Sam? Sam, where you
Sam-
at? Chime
Sam
in,
was
please.
here. Yeah.
Chime in. Say something.
Sam was here, but I don't know if he is anymore.
Yep.
All right.
And for those who wondered, Ed is not going live tonight, or according to his post on YouTube.
Yep. You did say that. So we have a little bit of a flexibility in our end time, so that's fine.
And Whip's going live at 10:30, I think.
Okay. Perfect. So he'll do the nocturnal feeding show time slot.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
And we do got the participant list pulled up already before we hit the topic.
Yep. Have at it. I figured that may be where you'd like to go.
Yeah. There's 23 participants. Way, Asaya Llewellyn, Chris Aquazone. We haven't seen you in Coon's age. Fishwit,
No.
Jordy P, Dennis Christensen, Fish Frenzy Addiction, Uncle Smiles Aquariums, Empire Dirt Aquatics, Jeff Kane, My Fish Tanks Aquatics, Trevor Smith, Red Laser, RJ, Spencer Sister, that's a new one. Stephen P, Foxy Fishies, DD, David Aquatics, Nancy B, Crazy Catfish Cave, Outside Aquatics, Dead Bottom Batten, and Fish Fam Link.
Another great crowd, as there always is here. Vibes.
Yeah. And rather than Fisher's, Scotty just showed up.
Welcome, Scotty.
But there's a new one in the chat that. Did you change your name on us? That's all I'm wondering.
Who's that?
The Spencer Sister?
Not a new name. I have seen that name around. Maybe new to us, maybe, but definitely not new to the community. I've seen that name around a lot of different times. So welcome. If you
welcome
are new
in.
to us, yeah, we're happy to have you. Thanks for checking us out tonight.
Hey.
Yeah. If these are new names, I try to recognize it. Welcome
Mhm.
you all in.
Yep, it's a nice idea.
And has anyone guessed the thumbnail and the topic that or the connection between the two? The thumbnail and the topic. I'll give y'all say 5 minutes to guess it, and if not, then I'll share
Cool.
about it.
Cool. We'll see. We got a really smart crowd in here, so I think they may get it. Oh, I think
I
Steven got
like
it.
it. I like it.
I think
Fish
he got it.
macaroni and cheese behavior.
I'm thinking it's.
Mm,
I think it's
Stay with-
bubble.
that's
I think
close.
it's bubble related
Yeah.
because there's bubbles in the cheese of macaroni and cheese,
Mm-hmm.
and there's bubbles
I
in the
don't think
water of your aquarium.
I didn't pull it up on my phone. I just went to the link immediately.
Mac and cheese, cottage cheese. Baked mac and cheese and fishing bake. Biggie in the mail.
Oh no, that's a.
I like where y'all are going.
That's a
A
sad
bubble
one.
nesting. Feeding. Now that's a new one, show. I don't think I feel that. That's a cool one. Feeding behaviors. Anyways, I can say I'll give you 5 minutes to figure it out. Anyways, okay.
Cool.
So what's your top favorite fish behavior?
Nope,
BJ.
I'm going in reverse order.
Okay. Oh, I like it.
So number 5, my least favorite of the 5, all the way to number 1, my most favorite of the 5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So number 5 on my list is going to be the social behaviors of some species. Specifically, the ones that I keep are the multifasciatus,
Mm-hmm.
the shell dwellers.
Hey, you supposed to say the whole name, bro.
Supposed to say the whole name?
Yeah, no.
Neolampologus multifasciatus, the multi-shell dwellers. Is that
There
better?
you go.
Is that better?
Yeah.
You were confused. You weren't sure. You weren't sure what fish I was really talking about. Were you?
Exactly, right?
You. It's not like you own the same fish that I do. So we had no idea. So we needed to clarify.
Yeah.
I got it. So that's the ones I'm talking about, right?
Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, the complex social behaviors. And this is number 5 on my list, right? I think there's literally nobody here that follows us regularly that is surprised that part of my list was going to be the shell dwellers. I talk about them a lot. They were one of the first fish that I ever bred when I was 10 years old was a shell dweller. It wasn't the Maltese, right? It was the brevis that I've talked about before, but
Right.
I just have always had that sort of soft spot for them. And it's just really interesting when you think about the social structures that they put together, right? And I'm interested to kind of get your thoughts on this, Vibes, because you have experience keeping the same fish currently that I do. But if you think about just the hierarchy that they have, right? They develop this very complex structure of territory. The males will defend a certain part of the aquarium. They're these tiny little fish. The males, much bigger than the females, but they're still an inch and a half, inch and 3/4. Tiny little fish, but they will defend their little section of the aquarium. What seems to be very viciously, but also the way in which they will then also kind of try to fake each other out.
Yes.
Right. So they really try to fake each other out. And so I found an article that talked about their type of behavior. Actually, it talked about behavior across several different species of what they call the
Lamprologus.
Yes, but they gave it a different word. So lamprologeny, I think is what it is. So yes, basically what you're saying, right? So they picked, I think, 5 different fish, and it was in a journal called Hydrobiologia from September of 2021. And the article is called Studying the Evolution of Social Behavior in One of Darwin's Dream Ponds, a case for the lamprologeny shell-dwelling cichlids. And they go on in this article to just talk a little bit about some of these different behaviors that they see, the social hierarchy. One of the other ones that I think is so fascinating is the way in which they do care for the young. The colony as a whole cares for the young. It's not like you see in many other types of fish where
Right.
usually it's either no care or one of the parents or maybe both of the parents care. In this case, like all of the adults and even some of the older brothers and sisters will
Right.
take care of the littlest ones. And it's just absolutely fascinating. The article also talked a little bit about how they will memorize socially relevant info for several days. So if they get into a fight with each other where they don't like each
Yeah.
other, they remember. And
Right.
you will watch them for days where they'll do this weird thing where they'll take like a run at each other. And you think, oh my gosh, like war is about to break out. And they stop and they're like, you're not worth it.
Exactly.
And then they swim away from each other and they'll do this for hours where they're like, I'm not going to do it, but I could if I want to.
Right.
Right. And they do that. And then there's the days where they build a wall. How many times have you come home from
It's
work?
almost like watching a pack of dogs, like like the alpha dog exhibit alpha behavior.
Yes.
Like they're growling at each other or kind of nipping at each other here and there, and one shows that dominance. Like I could really mess you up if I wanted to,
but I'm not
but I'm
gonna.
not.
Yep. You're not worth
exactly.
my time.
Just stay in line and everything's fine.
Yep. You're not worth my time. You're awful lucky. I'm going to leave you alone for now. And that day where they're going to like mess each other up just never comes. Like they just never do it. I think they just want to fake each other out. Or how many times, Vibes, have you come home from maybe you're gone for a day or 2 days or whatever, and all of a sudden there's a wall that's been built out of sand in one section, and it's because one got mad at the other and they put a wall up because they didn't want to see them anymore.
Right.
Hilarious, right?
These guys do it all the time.
They do it right. Yeah.
They'll build like a little bowl fort and like build up the walls around them and defend it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just thought this was just absolutely fascinating. The way that they have evolved, the way that they have their territories set up, the way that some of them live in pairs, but the Monthes live, like I said, they live in a colony. And so I started with 6 and I probably have 30 now because they've produced babies after babies after babies. And they just live in this family kind of lifestyle. And I just find it absolutely fascinating, guys. I just think it's my number 5, the lowest on my list from priority order of fish behaviors that I just think are absolutely just amazing.
That was a good choice. That one didn't even come to my mind even.
No.
So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what ones you guys chose as well, because I am kind of all over the place. I picked some freshwater, some saltwater, different continents, just some really interesting things that I think that are out there that I wanted to just talk about. What do you guys? What do either one of you guys have on your list?
Go ahead, Mariah.
So it's almost like, I guess, along the lines of archerfish, but not quite.
Okay.
So mine is African butterfly fish.
Huh.
I know I've mentioned them many times before on stream. You guys have heard me talk about them a lot. They're one of my favorite kind of fish. They're so cool. And the behavior of them just sitting on, well, obviously it's part of their, God, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. I'll think of it in a second. Anyways, the way they float on the surface of the water and just kind of lurk and go for anything that comes near them. They don't shoot the bug out of the air, of course, like the archerfish do. But the way they go for it, it's like watching a reptile go for a cricket or a snake go for its mouse. And it's so interesting to watch because they dart across the water. Like, what are those? There's a certain type of bug that does that. It kind of sits on top of the water and it spreads its legs out and they just kind of dart across the top of the water. I don't know what they're called. Do you know what it is?
No, I
What
mean,
was it? Say that again. The what?
There's a couple different types of insects that do that. They'll just kind of spread their legs out and sit on top of the water, and they just dart across the water.
Oh, yes.
So it puts me in the mind of them because of how fast they are able to move. And if they do go fast enough, they actually get airborne, and their fins or wings, because they're butterfly fish, they get airborne long enough to carry them a couple of feet. I've seen one jump out of a tank and end up in another tank 6 feet away.
Going after a bug, huh?
No, not going after a bug, but I mean, it was eating or going towards something, or maybe it got spooked and it jumped up out of the water and it got airborne enough to go about 6 feet away. Water strider, that's what I was thinking of. Thank you.
Yeah. Jeff and
Thanks,
Foxy.
Foxy. Thanks, Jeff Kane. You guys are on point tonight. Okay, I think
it's not a lot, but it's extremely fascinating just watching them hang out in the aquarium and do their thing the way they would naturally is just incredibly fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the thing I walked away from is the natural behaviors are unbelievable.
Yes.
Right.
And ever changing because of the way the ecosystem is constantly changing as a result of our impact.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of our aquarium fish, we don't see the natural behaviors on a normal basis because they associate us as food. You know, that's our food source, so they act differently around us than they would in nature.
Yep.
I would even go as far as to argue that you could possibly say that in fish keeping in general, you may even start to see more abnormal behaviors, or not even necessarily abnormal, but less than natural behaviors that they wouldn't have at all in their environment if they were still in the wild and had no impact from breeding, from generations of breeding from humans, impacting their environment, from overfishing in general for food, all of those different things. And then not to mention the way that we control their environment in our homes with the types of food that we feed, the type of water that we use, all the chemicals, everything.
I even would say, so yes, I completely agree with you. And in fact, one of my examples is going to talk a little bit about exactly what you just said, how, you know, we don't necessarily see those behaviors. I think that it's a really interesting thing. I also would say that the way we keep fish, like even in the numbers of fish, we don't see some of those behaviors, right? We don't necessarily keep them in the way in which they would live in the wild. And that does have an impact on how they're going to respond and act.
Right. Hey, Skipper, welcome in.
Hey, Skip, happy birthday to Jen.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I ran out of breath, but y'all know what I mean.
Ever since that day that you had no sound, you've forgotten the song that you actually sang.
Right.
I sang it that night.
Everybody gets a birthday song.
I sang it that night, but it sounded more like happy birthday to you. Hey, happy birthday.
Yeah, and I was cussing you out in silence.
You were.
But I forgot y'all could read lips.
Yeah.
It's true. I knew what you said. I that's okay. It didn't hurt my feelings that bad. What you got, Vibes? What's your
actually, yeah, it's actually been over 5 minutes on the topic and thumbnail.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Give everybody plenty of time.
Yep.
Stephen P was closest to it.
Fish, macaroni, and cheese behavior.
the behavior of us humans eating mac and cheese and fish versus the topic.
Huh.
So, and actually, that was the meal I ate yesterday for lunch, by the way. Anyway, so it was an interesting
Is it supposed
coincidence.
to be like human behavior versus fish behavior?
Yeah.
Now I get you.
Right.
Thank you. I know maybe it's kind of quirky. I don't know.
It's definitely it was that would have been a tough one to get. So I give Steven lots of credit for getting
Yeah.
in the ballpark.
That's
So
true.
what does this mean, Vibes? Have you triggered a giveaway?
Yeah. I'm trying to think what a good giveaway would be. Like, I think. You know what? I'll think about it for a little bit. There's too many options. So.
Welcome in, Sketty Nona.
Hey, Sketty, welcome in. Okay. I got something. Oh, I'll be right back.
Uh-oh. We'll just take a brief intermission while he goes to get whatever this wonderful item that we are about to give away. Nancy says a giant tub of cottage cheese.
I like how the chair is still going back and forth.
Yeah. It won't skip a beat. He'll come back and just start rocking again.
I was thinking that, I swear. Oh my goodness.
Steven says, ooh, cottage cheese on a UPS truck in June. Oh, yeah. That right there is living, Steven. That would be horrendous. Just so we're clear.
You know what? While we're waiting, I will talk about an
What's
annoying
new in that
thing.
aquarium
Well,
back
you're
there,
welcome back.
Mariah?
Do what?
I was just going to ask you about what's going on new in that aquarium behind you while we were waiting for our man Vibes to come back.
Oh, nothing much except my boy here.
No, look at that.
Goku, you know. That's it.
Nice.
Just
He's over
him.
here protecting the fish.
Yeah, just a little guard for the fish. I like it. All right, there, boss man. What you got for us?
Yes.
I got the
Ooh,
hat, nice little cap. With
I love that logo.
JBJ, for those who don't know what that is. They value the cards koozie. If you want it signed, let me know.
I want that color.
Barber bites. And now, since this is just general, hopefully whoever wins this can wear this. A Seacom t-shirt.
Wow.
I got one of those.
So, a lucky winner will receive all these. Now, it has to be in the U.S., y'all. And you get
Say whoever gets that shirt, it's so comfy.
That shirt?
Oh.
The shirt, yes, it's very comfortable. It's very soft fabric and it dries quickly.
Nice.
Okay. Let's go ahead and hit my one of my items on my list. Then and while you're talking, I'll get the wheel set up. How about that?
Perfect.
You mentioned the social interaction a little bit.
Yep.
And the show dwellers.
Yep.
For me, that went to the koi fish. Now, since I only got like 3 left, but there's still an interaction. Whenever I come up to the pond or walk past it, they associate. Probably they think I'm gonna feed them, whatever. But that connection that they have with that behavior when they see me up close, they come out from wherever they're hiding. They come out like, "Hey, feed us," even though before you don't even see them. So that behavior of recognizing their, I guess, master, I guess you want to say, they learn. The memory is really good, and remembering what happened prior,
Mhm.
so they can, and also they a newcomer, they will teach the newcomer some tricks.
Yep. Yeah, because they'll pick it up pretty quickly, right? It doesn't take too long for them to realize, oh, wait a second. Everybody else seems to be interested in this now, so maybe, maybe I'll get involved in it. So,
Mhm.
no, I think it's a little. I think there's a little echo on Mariah's side. It pops up every once in a while.
Oh, it's not me.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Okay, I'll pop out and come back.
Okay, all right. Hey, night out, welcome in. Sorry,
Hey, Drew.
folks. Yeah, that definitely was. Yeah, on the last side, but it's okay.
Yep. It happens every once in a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think that's really interesting. And do you see? So if other people come over to the house and you show them the pond,
It takes me convincing them like a long time for them to come out.
yeah, so they can associate somehow with you.
Right. And a while back, I had one of my buddies watching my pond and stuff while I was gone, and he said it took about 3 days. So they finally figured out, oh, there's this new guy in town,
Yeah.
and they come out. So
Yeah.
which is interesting because how can they differ me from another person? Is it
Yeah,
maybe the way I walk, maybe my whole mannerism? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like if I walk into the room where my community aquarium is,
Mm-hmm.
the fish end up at the front of the aquarium because they're
Is
just
it better?
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
a lot
awesome.
better.
Yep. Cool. Thank you for doing that, Mariah.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Mariah. You're awesome.
Of course, thank you.
Yeah, so
Hey, welcome, Miss Skull.
that's a really cool one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's strange because I don't know if my cichlids are just greedy or what, but whether I walk up to them or Cameron walks up to them, or even if Kim goes up to the tank, they are ready to eat every single time.
Huh. Okay. Maybe you think it's repetition, maybe, Mariah, where they see the three of you routinely, as opposed to Vibes was talking about a guy who just came over to kind of watch things. Maybe they weren't as used to him.
Well, I would think so
Could
at
be.
first, but then I think back and I've had several friends of mine that have come over and come right up to the tank, and the fish just come right up to them as well.
Huh.
And I mean, these are friends that don't look anything remotely like me.
Sure. Well, that's super interesting.
So it's weird. That's why I call them greedy, because they're little greedy things. These guys are so greedy.
Yep. But a hungry fish is supposed to be a healthy fish, so that's a good thing.
That's very true, and they won't stop breeding. So I mean, I guess they're very happy.
Seems to be, so that's okay. So we're thankful for that.
Someone asked me not too long ago how I'm able to get my convicts to breed, and I was like, "What do you mean? How do you get them to not breed,
Yeah.
other than removing a female?
Yeah.
Right.
How do you get them to not breed outside of that and making bad water quality?"
True. I mean, if you move one species, either male or female, that'll do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
eventually it would do it.
That's true. Brand says his favorite behavior is watching dwarf cichlids escort a swarm of fry around the tank and hunting for food. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
cool.
Absolutely. That takes me way back to when I first fell in love with fish, where my science teacher, I've talked about her many times, Mrs. Dunning, she bought a pair of Carbensis and she wanted to show me the parental care that they that they exhibited, and it's exactly
Mhm.
what Branton's talking about. And oh, that's funny. Dee Dee said that reminds her of when she had cribs. The best part was when the parents took the fry on field trips in the tank. Yes, I remember that. I will always
Aw.
have that memory in my head of watching them in science class. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
that's a
y'all,
perfect example.
Mhm.
What was that, Mariah?
I was just saying that's a perfect example.
It is.
The parenting behaviors,
It
and
is.
it's really cool watching the convicts because they got something interesting where at the beginning part of the process, when the eggs are first placed in the nest or wherever they decide to set up, the father is the one that stays close to the nest and kind of keeps the other fish at bay. And the female is like kind of going further away and getting food and sustaining herself. But I've noticed that after the eggs hatch, it's the other way around. The female stays very close to the fry and will move them from place to place if feeling threatened. Whereas the father will kind of stay on the outside of the nest and chase everybody else around the tank.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such an odd
Mhm.
dynamic to watch that switch happen after the fry are hatched.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just so interesting to see the ways in which that they will act, the way that they will protect their babies. It's great stuff. It's great stuff. It's some of these things are for me the real joy of fish keeping, because
Hmm.
they're living their life in the aquarium. They're just
Right.
doing kind of some of the things that come naturally to them in a modified environment, right? So like we
Yeah.
said, they probably aren't going to exhibit behaviors completely naturally like they would if they were in the lake in which their ancestors came from.
Right.
Hmm.
But in the environments that they've grown up, which are aquariums of various sizes in various places, you're watching them exhibit those behaviors that they've learned to have in that situation. And it's just some of the most fascinating stuff, just to think that,
Right.
that this is just what comes to them, that they have to do from a day-to-day survival
Hmm.
perspective.
And at first, y'all, I was gonna apologize for the hashtag, but you know what? I'm not gonna apologize. If you really want to win, you gotta play along with the hashtag. You know what I mean? The long
Boss
one.
man is making you work for it, friends.
Yeah. I mean,
I
yeah.
can't actually see it. What is the hashtag?
Let me see.
Fish, mac, and cheese.
Gross. That's almost as bad as fish and spaghetti.
Oh, that'd be all right.
Ew.
No.
If you had tried it. No.
There's
Shut
a
up, babe.
reason why.
Hey, you might find this interesting.
Nasty.
Yep.
There's a local diner to me that serves trout or salmon
Uh-huh.
and angel hair pasta as a side, and I order both of them and have them together.
Yowzers.
I mean, it's
And
like,
you put cottage cheese on it, wouldn't you?
of course, why not?
Oh,
Oh, God.
gosh. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. We've just gone too far.
I mean, we eat shrimp and pasta, no?
I mean, sometimes, yeah.
Shrimp is
Yeah,
shellfish. Shellfish.
This is true.
Oh, all right. I try.
I don't know, pal. I'm not
Try
trying to get
again.
behind this one.
Hey, okay. Since we're talking about fish, tuna fish. What do you call it? Tuna fish macaroni? No,
Ew,
tuna fish pasta.
Tuna fish casserole?
no.
Tuna
well,
noodle. Tuna noodle
Yeah.
casserole.
Yes.
When I was
What's
a
it called?
kid, could not
Yeah.
stand it. As an
Oh.
adult,
Cheese and seafood don't mix.
what in seafood?
Cheese and fish don't. Cheese and seafood.
Mariah, that's hilarious. I literally
That
had this
is.
conversation yesterday in the office with somebody.
You
Where
what?
I literally had this same exact conversation with somebody in my office yesterday.
That's hilarious, yo.
I was like fish and cheese don't mix. That was my
No,
stance.
they don't. Not at all. Like people be trying to make seafood lasagna and stuff. Like, what are you doing? No, that's
Yeah. Yep.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Yep.
Stephen
Mm-mm.
P. Vibes. You live in the South. There's no much. So much for good food. You really have no
Right.
excuse for this.
There's so much good food to choose from, and you picking this
Steven knows what's
mess.
up.
And you in Texas, you got access to good barbecue, or so I hear. And you
Yeah.
eating that?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Shameful.
Hey Sam, you brought a good question up. You want to try
Oh,
the
it's
orange
good.
cream Coca-Cola? It's really good. What's
It's
interesting
pretty good.
at
Yeah.
the fish gallery, that Thursday night before Aquashella, MJ was doing a aquascaping demo, and Fish Gallery was serving, or whoever was Seacom, I don't know, supply the drinks, and it was the orange cream Coca-Cola that they had.
Oh, nice.
First time ever having it. It was really good.
So
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty good. I liked it.
And I just wanted to say hi to Peplin. He's
Hey,
joined us.
Peplin, recommend.
Hey.
Everyone talking about fish and soda and everything else. And you know, talking
Yeah.
about soda.
Yeah.
At first, I was gonna make y'all guess what Vibe's drinking tonight.
Oh.
You know what? I'm going to. If someone can guess what I'm drinking tonight, we'll do 2 giveaways.
Does it start with an S?
No. And it's hey, I'll help you out. It's a soft drink. But yeah,
Oh, and it's green, so it's
Is
oh,
it green or is that the cup?
I don't know. It looks like that's the green of the soda. So I'm gonna say it's like mellow yellow.
Mm,
and if no one can figure it out by 8:03 my time, which lasts in 3 minutes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with ginger ale.
Somebody says Mountain Dew.
I will tell you what it is then. But yeah. Anyways,
Okay.
the topic kind of changed to food all of a sudden, huh?
Yeah,
Drinks.
we gotta get ourselves back on track.
Y'all know
here.
how we are. Y'all know we big back.
We do. We do. We meander a little bit and then we go back up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so TJ, what's your fourth?
Number 4 on the list is an example of a commensal relationship. A commensal relationship is
Okay, what's this?
it is a relationship that only benefits one side of the relationship.
Oh, yes.
And this is so we're moving on from Lake Tanganyika with the shell dwellers.
Mm-hmm.
We are now going over to Lake Malawi. So we're taking a quick hop, skip, and a jump, going over to another one of the Rift Lakes in southwestern Africa. And we're going to talk about the Malawi sand diver.
Ooh.
Phasarochromis rostratus, which stands for digger perch, beaked digger perch. Speaks to the mouth that the fish has, and it speaks to that they dig in the sand, in the substrate. And perch is something that it seems to be commonly have been used as a kind of a moniker for a lot of the cichlids. Right, because a lot of them are called the chromis is like
Right.
haplochromis, that kind of thing. So
a lot of the Lake Victoria cichlids are as well.
What's that? Those guys?
I said
Yeah.
a lot of the Lake Victoria cichlids are as well.
Yep. That's Yep, that's exactly right. And so these guys, they have this commensal relationship with 2 other species of fish in the lake. They have a commensal relationship with Certicara morii and Protomelis annectens. And the relationship that they've got is these sand divers, they will dig in the sand for food. And what happens is, as they're doing that, they put a lot of particulate out into the water column.
Hmm.
And these two particular types of fish, they feed off of that particulate. So it's food that the sand divers don't eat, but they're providing this food source for these other two fish that can be found living in their same kind of territory area. The fun fact I have about these guys is the reason that they're called sand divers is not because they go down and they dig. They do that, but it's because they will actually dive into the sand.
Oh, wow.
And there's a video that's out there. Maybe one of the mods can find it. Ben Ochart did one not that long ago about he's got a sand diver, and he did a video where he showed that fish diving from the water column down into the sand. And they do that for, it seems like one of two instances. Number one is defense, right? So in Ben's instance, he came to the aquarium and the fish dove to kind of escape. The other
And
that I
are
found,
they able to cover their entire body when they go into the sand like that?
Yeah, and they're good sized fish.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because the ones that I've heard are pretty large.
Yeah, they're good sized fish, and they can just, as long as there's enough depth of sand, they just go for it. And thanks, Jenna. She just put Ben's sand diver video, the link there. But such fascinating behavior. The other way that I've found record of them is that they would dive down there and wait for prey. So they'll wait for, they eat, seems like a lot of little micro crustaceans, but they will take down obviously a smaller fish, and they will sometimes dive into the sand, sit there and wait, and then they can jump up and they can snatch up the smaller fish. So super
it's
fascinating.
A trapdoor fish.
What's that? Trapdoor? Kind of like that, right?
Fish.
Yeah. Kind of like that. Yeah. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating behavior that I found. The source I had for this one was aquainfo.org. It's a website that had a bunch of different information. So if you just go and Google Phocerochromis rostratus or Malawi sand diver, that article came up, and it gave a little bit of information. So yeah, I just thought it was just so interesting that they've got this type of a relationship where they fill such an important piece of that ecosystem by providing this food for these other two types of species. But it's this idea of this commensal relationship. There isn't a direct link to go back to the sand diver to say how it benefits them. It's just a byproduct of their natural process of hunting for their own food. Super interesting.
That's cool.
And I saw Peplin said, TJ is so friggin' smart. So thanks, Peplin.
I saw it
appreciate
too.
that. Thank you.
I agree 100%. And it's been 3 minutes past 8:03 my time. So lemonade, Sarah Mist, Starry, 7-Up, Mountain Dew, Sprite, Zero Sugar Mountain Dew, Bagel, Moon Mist, Surge, Green Fat Hunter, Monster.
I don't even know what some of these things are. I am way out of the drink game.
Hawaiian Punch, that's green. Ooh, a lot of good choices, y'all. Some of these I never had before.
No, I've never heard of some of them.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Mariah, you are pretty close to the answer, but I'm not gonna give it because you weren't right.
Ale 8. So it is a ginger ale type of product?
Yes, but it's a Kentucky soft drink.
Oh, very interesting.
What is a ginger ale?
It's a twisted ginger ale. Ginger ale is
ginger ale.
Hey, close enough. Hey, that's something that I grew up with as a kid. Yeah, I know. Actually, I wonder if anybody here has even heard about it.
I've never seen it before. Not that one.
Dee
Have
anyway.
you seen that?
No, I've never seen this before. Dee Dee says, "Oh, Vibes is sipping on fancy stuff." Dee Dee, there's a secret. Every Thursday night we do these. Vibes is sipping on fancy stuff.
And by the way, y'all, this stuff came out 99 years ago. This drink came out.
1926.
Yep, it says in the back. It tells you the whole history of it.
Wow.
So, this was my childhood treat. When we were allowed to have a soft drink, this is what it was, and it was always in a glass bottle.
Wow.
And what's interesting, Cracker Barrel here in Texas brings it in, ships it in. So I go in there and I'll buy it by the pack of 24.
Wow.
'Cause-
So that's got a really nice childhood memory for you.
Yes. Now some of y'all might not even enjoy it, but it's something about that. It's kind of nostalgic, you know.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we've all got
So-
those little things, right, that we remember from when we were younger that kind of are those comfort items.
And the name of it, the reason it says LEA,
Uh-huh.
a late one. Basically, it started off, and it took 4 generations later till they finally brought it out. So it was a
Oh,
late,
so they made it, tried it,
and it was
4 generations before they were ready to release it.
yeah, and they brought it out, and next year it'd be out 100 years.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so y'all got to hear a little backstory
Mm-hmm.
of the soft drink.
Very interesting.
I've never known anybody that's bought anything outside of or out of the Cracker Barrel gift shop.
Jenna P, I do. If I have time, yes, 100%. Even after I'm done eating. I mean, that, especially if the weather's nice, that's perfect. And there's a checkerboard outside. You put checkers out there, you know.
Yeah.
It's the whole Cracker Barrel experience, the whole vibe.
Curtis is kind of like me getting sarsaparilla just to have it.
Yep. See, he understands.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so that's where would it came later for me in my life. But LA, as long as I can remember, it was around. You know, of course it was before my time, but yeah, that was one of the first drinks that I had as a kid.
Cool.
And my local drugstore / gas station / deli / you know the old Farmtown Road. You have a little diner,
Everything.
you know, everything. They had one
The general
gas
store,
pump.
basically.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. Anyways, and you know it was within driving distance on a tractor. You know, back in the good old days.
On a tractor. I'm dead.
You
Hey.
you fresh out of tractors there in the suburbs of Atlanta, Mariah?
No, we don't. The only tractors you see in the suburbs of Atlanta is the ones that's blocking up the roads doing doggone construction
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Because everybody keeps coming here. Stay home. We're full.
What's this?
Okay,
Is there a backstory to this, TD?
Atlanta is full.
She was
y'all.
asking, she was answering Jenna's question about do you sit in rocking chairs outside of Cracker Barrel before going in? And the backstory, yeah. So there's been 2 or 3 times that because I go visit my parents down in South Carolina,
Right.
and on the way home, there's been at least twice where I've stopped in Dee Dee's town and had
Mhm.
breakfast with her and Tony and Butterfly. So, in fact, Dee Dee, I'm heading that way in July over the the
Cool.
4th of July holiday. So I'll message
Nice.
you, and if you're going to be around, maybe on the way home, I'll stop and see you again. That'd be fun. We can have breakfast while I'm on my way back up here.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it's always great
That's
to see
cool.
her, and I've become friends with Tony, her husband. He's a car guy and just a super great guy. And Butterfly, it's always fun to see her.
Right. Hey, welcome in, Vinansky.
Speaking of
Good
which,
to see you.
PJ, I got to get you in touch with Tyler about some car stuff.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You know how to find me.
For sure.
Excellent.
So yeah. Anyways,
Yep. Is it
what time
Mariah's
should
turn
you-
now?
Yeah. Go ahead, Mariah. Yeah.
Nope. Nope. It's Vibe's turn.
No.
Vibe's turn now?
Oh, you okay? All right. And for those coming in, you know, I'm gonna be nice to everyone tonight. If you want to be on the wheel, win a prize, you might have to go up in the chat and catch it. But there's a hashtag if you want to participate in that. But okay, the fake dead fish.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah, one fish that I have in particular is the clown loach, and I know
Yes.
we call it fake dead fish, whatever, or sleeping. All they're doing is they're tired, probably taking a nap, but they resemble a dead fish in the bottom of your aquarium.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They're upside down, the head first, the tail first,
Mm-hmm.
they're at the top, upside down. It's weird. And that behavior is the known for that. Which first time I experienced it, of course, me never knew that it would happen. I freaked out.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
Wow.
it doesn't help, right, Vibes, where they hang out in groups. It looks like a little fish crime scene.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look good.
You got like dead bodies everywhere. You're like, what the heck happened?
Yeah, for sure. I can definitely relate to that. I had a similar freak out with my first beta I ever had. I had no idea that they would just lay
Yep.
there like that. And I'm like, oh no, my fish is dead. And I touched the surface of the water and it started freaking out and swimming around. I'm like, oh God, what did I do? So
Yeah.
I totally get that freak out.
Oh, yeah. You're like, what in the world
I was
did
horrified. I was like, oh my God, my fish. Yeah, no, it was just chilling.
I know.
Yeah,
I know you
yeah,
can
just
fit
take
your
that
well,
little rest.
but there is a loach in this aquarium right in the corner that's taking a nap right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can see
He's
the
on
tail,
5.
maybe. The rest of it is covered up by the chair, but yeah, he's
Yeah, I
just
can
laying
see
there.
the
He
tail.
just looks
Yeah.
completely dead, but he's not.
Yep. His eyes doing
Yeah.
this, you know. He's looking at me.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So that behavior,
It's
I
funny
kinda,
that you brought it up. There's a lot of fish now that I think about that do that.
yeah.
The badgers do that too.
The Bishers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll just sit there floating at the top of the water, motionless. You
Okay.
think they're dead. And the next thing you know, there they go slithering everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Where's June
I mean-
when we need her? I've heard that Oscars tend to get sometimes a little pouty and they'll kind of like just flop over and kind of wait there.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes. I've seen them usually do it mostly when it's like something going on with them, like an illness or obviously
Right.
most fish would behave abnormally like that if there's an illness, right? But I don't know. I've seen it like even just minor temperature changes, like between night and day temperature, and they'll just get really upset about it and just get all depressed and sit at the bottom of the tank.
Yeah,
But
Asia
they're
says
perfectly
Oscars are
fine.
so dramatic.
Yeah, they really are.
Mm-hmm. Talking about dramatic, for those that have had discus, might have experienced that. If you just look at it the
Oh
wrong
God,
way,
I'm not prepared.
they'll play dead or they'll float it down. I mean, it's just like, come on, cut out.
Okay, nope, not doing it.
Yeah.
150's not getting discus. Nope, because I'm not having that heart attack.
Yeah, especially when these fish are not cheap and,
Yeah,
and they do these stunts.
Because you had them. You
Yes.
had discus before.
I've experienced it, and
You've-
yeah, there again, I
Yeah.
freaked out. You know, of course.
Yeah.
They ain't playing that stuff with me because I will come home and legit have a heart attack if I find a discus that I think is dead, and that thing then costs $250.
Yep. Yeah, that feeling. Yep.
That would be the day that I'm like, you know what? I'm selling all these tanks. Take them.
Right.
I don't
And
want
what's
it no more.
interesting,
I give up.
my local breeder for discus says, yeah, every time it moves the big fish, they'll always do that. It's like a normal thing. You move them, and they're just like, no, we ain't happy with this, you know. And basically, the pouting in the corner, like, yeah, this ain't right. We were treated fairly.
Yep, and that's exactly what I'm gonna be doing, pouting and crying in the corner. I lost my fish and my money.
Yeah.
I couldn't even enjoy my investment.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's terrifying on so many levels.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would be just an emotional roller coaster at that, because then when I find out that the fish is actually okay and perfectly alive, I'd be so angry. I would pick the fish up in a net and just suspend it in the air for like 10 seconds just to punish it. How dare you do that to me?
Hmm.
How dare you? I'm kidding. I wouldn't actually do that. I'm just saying.
The thought would be in your head. You wouldn't actually take
It
steps to
would.
get
Right.
there. It's kind of like
I
my
would
multi.
think about something. I would think about a lot of stuff, but I wouldn't actually do it. I promise.
So you've got kind of similar behavior to my shell dwellers, right? Where they think about like going after each other, but they're like, no, you know what? You're not worth it. I'm not going to do that today, but I could if I want
Pretty
to.
much.
I
Right.
like it.
Except it's slightly different of the thought of, no, you're way too worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not about to hurt you
Yep.
because you're not dead.
I respect
But
that.
if you were dead, ooh,
You'd be getting it
ooh.
right now. Yeah.
But the fact
Yep.
that you were playing dead and now
Yep.
you're not, oh, that's even worse. Ooh.
That's worse. But
Don't
you're
rip
too
my
pretty.
heart through that.
But you're too pretty, so I'm not going to do it. So
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
I could
that's
though.
the
Pretty and
message.
too expensive. Too pretty and too expensive to kill you now.
That's the message. I respect that. I respect that.
Hey, welcome in, Emma Rose. Good to see you.
Emma,
Long time no see.
Emma.
Hope all is well. And by the since you showed up now, it reminds me, I'm gonna do a little more another plug for the convention next week. The Lone Star Cares Convention in San Antonio, June 12th to 15th. It's put on by the ACA, the AOA, AKA, and the Better Group, and there's like another one, Bodas Group or whatever.
you went to that last year, yes?
No,
No. I'm thinking of the different one that you went to.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's similar to the Triple Crown.
Oh, yeah.
The
Okay.
same idea. Yeah.
Yep. It's the same groups, yeah.
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 Plus like two groups or whatever.
Okay. Chris George says he's going to be there.
Yep, he'll be there.
Nice.
And I'm planning to be there. And local Austin. Just this past week, I found out that Jason Primetime is planning to be there.
Oh, nice. He's a great
Yeah.
guy. I met him at the class,
Yeah.
2 years ago, something like that. Really nice.
Yes, he's amazing.
Welcome to Scuba Steve. He jumped in here just a minute ago.
It's Cuba Squad. Welcome in. Moving Texas up in August. Ooh, my Texan. I like it.
Oh boy.
You're one of us.
Mm.
Okay. So that was the plug for tonight.
And David's going.
David's, I mean, to the event in San Antonio.
I think so. Seems like.
Hey, for those that I've never met before, but you know me because I'm on camera so often, I would love if you come up and talk to me. Don't be scared. I'm just like you. It just
David.
so happens I'm on the camera. That's all.
David's not scared.
And what is it based out of?
Ooh, I don't know. The only thing I've spoken to David a few different times because he comes to the Aquarist auctions. And so he was on the last one, which was the first one of the year. And then we've got another one while we're talking about it, coming up this month on the 14th. So it's two Saturdays, not this Saturday coming up, but the next one we will have the
14th. I'll be at the event.
So you better tune into the Aquarist auction,
I
and
doubt it. Not
and
not
that
gonna
way
happen.
you can buy and then tell all your friends at the convention what you just won,
Uh-huh.
because there's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome stuff that's gonna show up.
Yeah. No, I'd rather enjoy the moment, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep put a pin in it. You can change your mind.
Yeah, definitely.
Emma Rose says that
Don't do it.
you're
He's
super
scary. He's so scary, y'all. I know.
And David said he lives in Tulsa.
Tulsa. Well, that's gonna be a long, big drive, David, for you. Come all the way down here.
Yep.
That'd be Tulsa. Is it 8 hours?
I don't know. That wouldn't surprise me. That's a distance.
7 or 8 hours? Or is it 9 hours? I'm not even sure. That's gonna be a good drive. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, of course, fish dreams. Welcome in.
Oh, lurking with no reading glasses.
Perfect. Hey, Skipper. Hey, ain't my fault that y'all plan your auctions around my events. Okay. My events. I heard that one.
Oh.
Tell you what.
Yeah.
Actually, wasn't there an auction during Aquashella? I'm thinking it was.
Could be. It was about that time.
That Saturday night. I think it was. But it's
You're
okay.
missing out, Vibes. We're gonna have some great stuff, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. But you can watch the replay, see what you missed.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I missed that.
Yep.
No, I'm not.
Yep. The
So in other words,
FOMO.
I
the FOMO.
better not watch it because it'd be so
FOMO.
discouraging.
FOMO is gonna be real for you. I'm
right.
sorry to say. Mariah,
But,
what you got on your list?
Yeah.
I'd probably say seahorses.
Say more.
Let it out.
The behavior of the different parenting behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a very unique style of the way they create or the way they raise their young. Not the way they raise their, excuse me. The way that it's developed within the adult.
Mm-hmm.
So, as most of you probably know, the female does not carry the young, the male does. The female passes it to the male during the conception process, and the male carries the young and gives birth. I find that incredibly interesting. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's the only case of that in the animal kingdom where that happens.
So, Mariah, are they? I think seahorses are super cool. I know very little about them. Are they a fish that gives live birth, or are
I
they?
believe so. Yes,
Okay.
it is live birth. So the male seahorse looks it looks visibly pregnant, like the little tummy area will start to poke out because they have a little pouch, and then the male will actually spit out live seahorses whenever the time is ready.
Wow. So cool. Yep.
And the little babies are the cutest thing you will ever see in your life. They look. Seahorses are one of those sea creatures that, no matter how normal of a creature it is to us now, it still looks like a mystical alien creature. Like something that's straight out of mythology. And they're so beautiful, and the way they move in the water and just float around is elegant. And I really like seahorses. I don't know enough about them yet. I'm still doing a lot of research, but I was listening a lot at the aquarium the last time I was there, and they were talking about some of it. And just, I don't know, some of the documentaries I've seen as well, that's one of the main things that they do discuss is the parenting behavior and the conception, and how that's very uncommon and very rare in the animal kingdom to have it set up that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're really, really interesting fish.
And they're super cute.
They're extremely
Yeah.
cute. Whether they're big or little, they're extremely cute. I have to give it to you. What's that?
Nothing.
Hey, welcome in,
Oh.
Ty.
Oh no. Oh, Mariah.
Male wild bettas take the eggs and take care of the fry.
Okay. Yeah.
So then
Those are
that begs
for
the question:
Yep.
Why do aquarium kept and aquarium bred betas
hmm
eat the eggs, and why are they so much more aggressive and violent towards other fish and fish eggs?
Haven't aquarium bettas been selected bred for the colors and stuff?
The Splendens, well, and also the aggression, because remember that's where they came, right? They were selected as fighting fish back
Right.
long time ago in Asia, where they come from.
Yep.
And so the Splendens are the ones that largely you can't keep them together. There's exceptions, but in general, that's kind of the deal. Is you keep them, males separate from one another. Females, if you can do a sorority, right? There are people that do that and have done them successfully, but
Right. But
in a
not
lot of
very many.
cases, right? Yeah. So so I think so I think that's a big difference from like the wild type bettas that are out there, the macrostomas and the
Happy.
cochinas and all of those,
Mhm.
right? Yeah. So, but
Hey,
Curtis
welcome
is
in,
right. I think a
FC
lot of the
Guru.
mouth brooding ones, the males will
Yep.
hold the eggs in their mouth, or even the Splendens, the males will take care of the bubble nest.
Isn't there some cichlids that do that as well? The
Do
males will carry the eggs in the mouth.
for sure. Yes, there are.
I've seen peacocks do it before.
Have you? And I feel like there is at least one species, maybe more, of Geophagus,
Yeah.
Mhm.
where they have found that the parents will often switch back and forth.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is there an echo again?
Yeah, it's Mariah's phone. It did the same thing again.
Oh man! All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Stupid phone.
Welcome in, folks. And
You want-
since Mariah just stepped out, I'm going to do another plug. How about that?
Okay.
I went and set up a group chat over there on Instagram for those attending the event next weekend in San Antonio, the CARES convention. And if you're on Instagram and want to be a part of it, go ahead and let me know, and I'll add you to it. That way, you can kind of call it the pre hangout party, I guess we'll call it that. You get to know who's coming, etc. What they're bringing, what time they're showing up, But yeah, let me know if you want to be a part of it, because I can add you. Or if there's a moderator, admin in the community chat, you can also message them as well, and they can add you. So it's a small group. I don't know, it's maybe 10, 20 of us at the most in the group chat. So
And that allows you guys to stay in contact when you're at the event.
exactly.
Or leading up to it or whatever. Yeah. Nice.
Right. Like, hey, what's your plans later? Are we going out for dinner? Are we going?
Yeah, that's a great
Does
idea.
it sound better, guys?
Way better. Yep,
Way
you're
better.
back. Every once in a while, it just goes into some different mode where it echoes, but it's good for now. And Drew, Night Owl Aquatics, said the male chameleon whiptails carry eggs under their lip.
Huh?
So that's another one where the males do the brood care.
Yeah. Hey Emma, you're invited. Just saying.
Yep.
I haven't seen you in over a year. Has it been? Long time. Okay. uh, next fish on the list, TJ.
Before you do that, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So, could we also consider semi-aquatic species?
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know why not.
Okay, cool.
You
In that
you
case,
want
I
me to
just
go
want
through
to give a
another
short
one,
honorable.
or?
I just wanted to give a short honorable mention to the platypus.
Ooh, I like it.
Yep. I can stand behind that one. Those are super
Yeah.
cool.
And there's the link, y'all, for those that never heard of it, acaconvention.org.
Oh,
Skull put it
cool.
in the chat. Go check it out. Now, I know it's too late to announce it, but there's a collecting trip. There's a Goliad Farm fish tour.
Oh, yeah.
There's another tour going on. A lot of speakers. There's a banquet Saturday night with a speaker as well. There's like two or three auctions. There's a vendor room. Yeah, so I think it's going to be a really fun turnout. I remembered. What do I want to say? Grant and Shelby is also attending. The Garden Eater.
Oh, that'll be fun.
And for those that know Lily Ecology,
Yep.
she also will be attending the event. And Mark Powell of Powell Aquatics, he's actually one of the speakers.
I think you had mentioned that before.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's a lot more. Oh, a new one that some of y'all haven't met yet. Cece in person is going to be there.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, she comes in here quite a bit to hang with us.
She's based out of Houston. But yeah. So
great.
Anyways, and
all right,
if you want to
what's next on the list?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, TJ.
Oh, sorry.
Sounds like you're gonna have a great time, Vibes. Next on the list, number 3. Migratory spawning migrations. Spawning migrations. And for this, we're going to leave Africa, where I've had us for the last 2, and we are now going to go to the Caribbean. And we're going to talk about the Nassau grouper. The Nassau grouper is typically a fish that lives in the coral reefs in different parts of the Caribbean. And they are then, through various changes in the moon phase, as well as temperature of the water, they end up going into this mode of migrating to their spawning grounds, which are very specific locations in the ocean. And they go into what they call aggregations, which they're either, they can be just a few kilometers away from the reef that they live in, but they've also found them as far as several hundred kilometers away. And they come in from potentially hundreds of fish to all the way up to tens of thousands of these Nassau groupers will come together. And it is typically between November and February every year. Again, it's going to be the days that they actually are in the spawning grounds laying eggs is going to be around the moon phase, so the full moon. And they're looking for when the temperatures of the water down there is right around 79 degrees. Super, super interesting. I found information about these guys on my source is fisheries.noaa, NOAA.gov.
Okay.
So if you go there and you search for Nassau grouper migrations, you can find that on the fisheries.noaa.gov website, and it'll talk about this. And the fun fact that I had, Nassau groupers are born both male and female. As they continue to mature, they end up going in one particular direction with the gender, and they stay that way.
Hmm.
Fascinating.
That's interesting.
Fascinating. They are born both male and female, and then as time goes on and they continue to develop, they end up moving either male or female, and they stay that way. So interesting.
There
And
was
the
another
reason,
fish. That's funny. There was another
what's that?
fish that I heard about once that is similar to that.
Yep.
I don't know if it's necessarily born male and female, or if it just has the ability to change throughout its lifetime.
You may be
But there was
thinking
another one.
about my number 2 on the list, which does exactly that, where they have the ability to change genders. But
Yeah, and I think it's a case of like I think it's if the male, it's maybe one or the other. I don't remember the exact orientation, but either the male dies or gets chased off, or the female dies or gets chased off, and then whatever one is left over changes to that gender
you are saying
and
exactly
basically is
what
the
I'm gonna.
alpha.
Yep, this is
Yeah.
exactly the case for my number 2 that I'll
Mhm.
talk about here in a bit. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what
And
happened.
it's
in that
also
case,
a ocean fish as well, right?
Huh?
Another ocean fish.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
since
Okay, yeah.
TJ is going to talk about it, maybe I should let TJ take over from me. But that was my number 3 on the list.
Which one was?
The clownfish.
Spawning.
The clownfish. Oh, no.
No, okay, another one. Okay. This is it's getting good
Yeah,
then.
no, it
Okay.
wasn't clownfish. This is a very, very large fish compared to clownfish.
It is. She's right. So I think she and I are thinking about the same
Ooh.
thing. But
Now,
the thing I wanted to also share with you guys is the reason that this migratory spawning was so interesting to me. When I was a kid, and we've talked about this, I loved watching the Discovery Channel when they did all of the
Mhm.
wildlife documentaries. And one time I remember watching a documentary and it talked about the Great Caribou Migration up in Canada, right? So there's all
Yeah,
the caribou and they
there's
migrate
millions of
from
them.
different grounds, like in the change from winter to spring and fall to winter. They go and they'll migrate for thousands of miles sometimes. And guys, I've been fascinated about this since I was a little kid. I just think it's just the coolest thing. And so when I was starting to think about kind of these different types of behaviors, I was like, I wonder if there are fish that do this migration. And I intuitively I knew that there was, but I didn't know which ones. And so that's where I started to look around and I found my way to these Nassau groupers. But yes, just the fact that they are somehow drawn from the reef where they live to a spawning ground that's kind of predetermined and been something that's been there for years is just fascinating to me.
Mhm.
Fascinating. So that's it. I'll keep it short, but I thought that one was just really interesting. Kubodai, what'd you say? Kubodai wrasse change from female to male as they age. Yeah, super cool.
Mm.
That's an interesting show. Hey, welcome in, George. Good to see you.
Jorge! And SC Cat House, I don't know if we welcome them in, but
Yeah. I have.
Hey
And the-
y'all, hey everybody.
I've learned about the caribou migration from Batu.
oh, yeah.
Cool.
Fascinating.
They also depicted a bit of the caribou migration in Polar Express.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting. Interesting.
All right,
And
TJ,
there's a
it's
link,
killing me
y'all.
inside. Tell me the name of that fish.
My number 2 on the list?
Yeah.
The California sheephead.
That's it. That's
That's the
exactly
one, right?
it. And they have them at the aquarium. They have them at the aquarium, and they're
California
so
sheephead.
big.
Absolutely. So they are fascinating fish. So they're all born female.
That's what it was. Yes.
That's
They're all
interesting.
born female. they go through a larval stage, right? So they hatch from their
Mhm.
eggs, they go through like a larval stage, like we've seen. There's a number of fish that do that, and then as they mature,
Mhm.
they turn female,
Mhm.
and they end up living in groups, right? That are typically like a harem. So it's one male with a bunch of females. And so the way that the literature that I found on ocean wild things and other earthly concerns, they talked about some research that was done by a UC Santa Barbara researcher, Jennifer Caselli, Kaselle, Jennifer, I think it's Caselli. And she talked about how what scientists believe is that the aggressive behavior of the dominant male of the harem prevents the hormones from building up in the females, and
Yeah.
so they don't change. If that, just like what you said, Mariah, if that male
If,
leaves the group or dies or something
mhm.
like that happens, the largest female typically will transition from
Into a
female
male.
to male. It takes between
Mhm.
several days and several months for this to
Yep.
happen. And basically,
And
what
they
go
said
ahead.
something also about the female being in a very vulnerable state during that change process, and she'll be like hiding and be very minimal with her movement and activity.
Sure, because what happens, right, is that their ovaries become testes, right?
Hmm.
So the sex organ changes completely, and they go through the color change.
Yeah.
So they go from just a like a reddish kind of colored fish to then they pick up black. They pick up black markings on the front and the back of their body, and the big hump, right? The nuchal
Yep.
hump on the
They
head.
get more bulbous on the head. Exactly.
Super,
That was
super, super.
exactly the one I was thinking of. That is really cool.
And here is the fun fact with this one is they are the principal predator of sea urchins, and so they are
Hmm.
incredibly important in the kelp forests because the
Yes.
sea
Absolutely.
urchins eat the kelp, and so
And
we
they're
need the
invasive.
sheephead there to eat the urchins so that the kelp forests can be able to be
Hmm.
successful in thriving
Right.
because there's so many different species that live there. Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely amazing stuff.
That's pretty cool that we were thinking of the same one. I just could not remember the name of it for the life of me.
You were
And
exact. As soon as you started talking, I knew you were thinking about the exact same one that I was thinking about. Now,
because I just saw one like a few days ago when I was at the aquarium, and the size of them is just unbelievable. I mean, it's like a 600, 700 pound fish.
they're huge, huge.
The thing is like, it was like 6 feet long, 7 feet long. It was way huge. It was bigger than me.
Yeah, big
It's
fish.
massive.
Really cool. Like but I just find that absolutely fascinating how this happened. Yeah, Brandon said like hyenas. I am going to claim complete ignorance on this. So Brandon,
Yeah.
if you
Same
want to,
here.
So no, not like hyenas.
okay.
So hyenas, from what I've heard from the documentaries and stuff that I've seen, they don't necessarily change their gender. But with hyenas, it's so extremely difficult for them to mate because of the way the female's reproductive organs are positioned in her body.
Huh. Okay.
And the way the male has to enter his penis into her body, it is extremely difficult for them to be able to uh, conceive.
Yep.
And that's a big reason why hyenas are
Huh.
threatened outside of hunting
Oh.
and
Mm-hmm.
removal of their habitat.
Okay.
Wow.
Reproductive rates are low.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
didn't realize that.
No, I had
Thank
no
you.
idea. I wasn't sure what.
Yeah, if you Google uh, a diagram of a female hyena's reproductive organs
Mm-hmm.
and just think about how the male would have to enter, it is
Mm-hmm.
extremely difficult. And then females also, they have an appendage that sticks out that mimics a penis, but that is their reproductive organs, but it is not a penis.
Huh.
And they do that, and it's basically, I think it's an evolutionary thing, if I'm not mistaken. It's basically to ward off other hyenas and make them think it's a large male.
Oh,
Huh.
Hmm.
interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, I did not know. That's pretty
I like
cool.
Steve's comment. I'm migrating from the couch to the kitchen. Do you get lost in the migration process, SCK Willis?
And does it happen by the moon phases or temperature
Yeah.
in the house, lighting? What causes that to happen?
Or is it back conditions in the perimeters of the living room?
Right, right. What causes this to happen? Cat House, we need to know.
Yeah.
I'm so done with y'all.
No, you're not.
So done. I'm
No,
almost done. It's about 10 o'clock.
it is.
Yeah.
Oh man, so we got like
Hmm.
lightning round because I got one more to go. What else you got?
I was going to talk about the clownfish.
Go for it.
Let's do it.
The relationship they have with anemones.
The symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anemones will normally kill. Their sting will kill other life, but the fluid that
Mucus.
clownfish have on the outside protects them from the anemones,
Yeah.
which is weird.
Wow.
And clownfish are all born male,
Oh,
Mhm.
and they usually in like a colony, a school, whatever. I don't call that. And the most dominant one becomes female. And
wow. Okay.
will remain female. None of the other males can change over until she either moves on or passes away.
Huh.
Mm.
Okay. So,
So-
kind of like what I was talking about with the sheep's head, but different, right? The
Different,
opposite.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And what's interesting, the most dominant male usually is one that breeds the female, right? But if that female passes away, that dominant male becomes the female.
Mhm.
That's
Isn't that weird? That's yeah.
Fascinating. Wow.
But
And gets bigger.
I don't want to take too much time. What?
Then gets bigger, right? Because the females are typically bigger of clownfish. So
Yeah.
that dominant
Mhm.
male
Mm-hmm.
will increase in size and become
Right.
female.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool.
And so the next
That's
dominant
cool.
male becomes the dominant male, and
Fascinating.
so on.
Yep. Wow.
Every time I wake up, the migration starts. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You know what?
Huh.
Since we're 10 minutes from 10 o'clock your time,
Yep.
how about we do the giveaway?
Do it.
Okay.
Then we can do any final. We can do any final ones we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm going to share the screen. And those that are coming in and want to participate, you're more welcome to participate in the giveaway. But you got to be here to win, and you got to be in America to win. There we go. I'm going to remove the
48.
panel. There we go. I'm going to
Yeah,
drop it.
Emma, we're doing a giveaway.
Refresh. And the hashtag is fish mac and cheese, which
Yep, right there
Mariah
on the
hates.
screen.
Ew.
Yeah, the giveaway because Emma, you probably didn't realize, but I try to every Thursday now have what's the connection between the thumbnail and the topic.
Yep.
Spin the wheel around.
And Steven kind of guessed it
Yeah.
right. So.
So do we want to give
And-
just a second for any last minuters and maybe Mariah, if you've got another one you want to talk
Yeah, go
about,
ahead,
you can
Mariah.
talk about it.
No, I'm good. I'm excited for your last one
Okay.
because I think we all been. I think for our last few, we all been kind of on the same page.
We
Right.
have. All right, you want me
Great
to
minds think alike.
bust through my last one here, Vibes? Give people just a minute and
Yeah.
okay.
You
Excellent.
want it,
So I'm taking us
mm.
back to Lake Tanganyika,
All
Go
right.
ahead.
and we are going to talk about the cuckoo catfish, also called Synodontis multipunctatus.
Yeah. Okay. First name I did not realize.
Yep. And so I found the source here in a journal called Science Advances from May 2nd of 2018. Granted, this is from some time ago. Science changes all the time, discoveries change all the time, but the information I found is that they claim the cuckoo catfish to be the only non-avian vertebrate obligate brood parasite to have the only non-avian, so non-bird vertebrate that is an obligate. They have a brood parasitic relationship with their host. And the idea behind this is that these catfish, they come from Lake Tanganyika, right, where there is lots of different biodiversity. And included in that are what we call mouth brooding Tanganyikan cichlids, all different types of varieties. And what these catfish have developed to do over time, they have evolved to basically figure out when these mouth brooding cichlids are spawning, so they're laying eggs, and they will go and lay and fertilize their eggs, the catfish eggs, in the same area. And so the cichlids, as they're breeding, the females will pick the eggs up in their mouth, and that's their version of parental care for the eggs and the young, even for a time period. And so what the catfish have done is they have learned to lay their eggs and fertilize them, and then the female cichlids pick up the catfish eggs and their own eggs.
Mm-hmm.
The catfish hatch sooner than the cichlid babies.
So the catfish babies eat the cichlid babies.
Bingo.
Wow.
And the mother cichlid holds on to the catfish for that time period, so they have built-in parental care as part of this process.
That's wild.
Here's the interesting part, guys. Fun fact: in this article, the researchers talked about experiments that they did where they found that cichlids that had experienced this breeding, the parasitic behavior, were 3 to 11 times less likely to fall for it again.
Oh, wow. Fool me once.
Right?
Shame on you. Fool me twice.
I had experience and I witnessed that this is what happened. And what they started to learn to do is to expel the catfish eggs.
What?
They would get rid of the catfish eggs. They learned over time somehow to tell the difference. It did say that what they did find is that sometimes they did end up getting rid of their own eggs as well, but there was really, the majority was that they were getting rid of the catfish eggs. And
I wonder if there's like a difference in size.
I would assume so, Mariah. Yeah, I would assume there's a difference in that. But
I mean, it's not like they would be able to taste it, right?
I don't think they knew why, but yeah, there's got to be some sort of a difference. And so what the researchers said is that it demonstrates learning and individual experiences contribute to the host rejecting the eggs. So over time period, they have their own experience and they're able to learn about it, and then they end up rejecting those eggs and spitting them out. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Now we know in aquariums, like what we were talking about earlier, these fish can be bred without needing a host, right? So they will go in and they'll breed. Our buddy Chattanooga Ed, he has them at home and he breeds them just normally, right? I think he puts some sort of a container or something in the aquarium and they'll go in, they'll lay the eggs, and that works. But in the lake, the only way that they're supposed to be breeding is they're an obligate, right? So they're obliged to have this parasitic relationship. Absolutely fascinating. And the fact that the cichlids can learn over time that this is what's happening.
It's kind of messed up, but it's also kind of genius. It's like, I'm going to have the kid, but here you go. You take care of it. And also, you feed it, but feed it with your kids.
Right? Just, yeah.
That's messed up,
Amazing
but very
and
genius.
sinister at the same time.
Because now the mom can swim off and do whatever she wants, do her own thing,
Right?
go eat something.
Go do it. Go lay more eggs and start all
Yeah,
over.
like wow,
Fascinating stuff here, guys.
such
Fascinating.
degenerate parents.
Yeah, for sure, right? They shirk their whole responsibility and pawn it off on the cichlid. It's craziness. When I read that, I just thought it was absolutely fascinating. So again, that was in the Science Advances journal from May 2nd, 2018. Fascinating
Nice.
stuff. So that was all I've got. So if you want to go do the giveaway now vibes, absolutely have at it. But super fun,
Definitely.
interesting.
Yeah. That is cool. I didn't even realize it. Daisy, welcome in.
Yeah,
Jeremy, welcome in.
I learned a lot through this process.
Yes.
Having to do the research was really educational for me. I liked it.
Hashtag fish mac and cheese.
Yep.
This is for the U.S. only, and you gotta be able to win, and the last man standing wins.
Okay, I see Jeremy just put the hashtag in. So does it automatically update, or do you have to refresh?
No, I think I might have to refresh.
Okay.
Turn
Yeah,
the wheel around. Who's gonna win the
There you go.
giveaway? Turn it upside down.
I'm
Good
picking
luck,
up what
folks.
you're putting down there, Mariah. I like it.
Can everyone see the wheel okay?
It's not bad. Close enough.
Let's see.
It reminds me of the old Apple Wheel of Death.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think it's close enough, vibes. You
Okay.
can probably go.
all right.
And I echo what
I'm a-
Cheryl said. Good luck, everybody. And thanks to Vibes for doing a giveaway again, man. You're killing it with the giveaways.
Yeah, thank you. All right, good luck, everyone.
Beer bottom Brandon.
I figured. Actually, Brown was the first one on the wheel tonight.
And he was
so.
pink.
Skull Aquatics.
Sorry, Skull.
Scuba Stevos Aquatic.
Scuba Steve Jacqueline. Sorry, Scuba.
Sea Arfish. Cheryl Smith.
Sorry, Cheryl.
No.
McCoy Pitt.
Sorry, Ty.
JNN Aquatics.
Sorry,
Sure.
Jimmy.
Fishwit.
Sorry, Asia.
SC Catacoulus.
Sorry, SC.
Love to trip on fish. AKAR.
Sorry, RJ.
Why are we always yelling?
Oh, sorry, Sam. I did notice in the wheel, y'all, that the pink is all gone.
It is. Look at that.
It's interesting.
David's Aquatics.
Sorry, David.
Peplin Creek Aquatics.
Sorry, Pippin.
Chris Aquazo.
Sorry, Chris. Looking forward to hang out with you again next weekend.
Is that his consolation prize?
Dennis Christensen.
Sorry, Dennis. We got Night Owl, Stephen P, Skipper's Aquariums, Emma Rose. Good luck.
Skipper's Aquariums.
Sorry, Skipper.
Stephen P. 2003 Awkward Dykes.
Sorry, Steven.
Drew or Emma Rose?
Nigel Aquatics.
That all works. Sorry, not Drew.
That means our winner.
It's Emma Rose. One of the beavers. One of the beavers. So, Emma, you're here?
Congratulations, Emma Rose. And thanks again, Vibes, for doing the giveaway. That was a really cool pack with a hat and a
Yeah.
shirt and some Vibra Bites. And what else am I missing?
A koozie.
Koozie.
And a koozie. That's right. You get the yellow with the white.
Gold koozie. I'm gonna need that
Yeah.
one. ASAP.
Mm,
She's here. Awesome. So, Emma, go ahead. I don't know if I have your address or not, but go ahead and email me your address so I can send it to you. And moderators, you want to drop in my email down to her? That way she can email me her address. So, yeah, congrats. And since I'm hopefully I should be able to do it tomorrow if I get your address for tomorrow. We'll ship it out. So that's awesome.
super
Cold winter
cool.
clothes.
Super cool.
I want to put that in my notes before I forget, though.
Good idea. Record keeping is very important here at the Vibes Aquatics YouTube
Right.
channel.
Because, like I say, if it's not written down, it didn't happen.
Yep. Drew says so close. You were, Drew. Almost, buddy. What else you guys got on this topic? I think this was super fun. Like I said, I learned a bunch of stuff, so it challenged me to spend some time doing a little bit of research and thinking about all the different types of behaviors and different types of relationships that these aquatic creatures have. Yeah, I just thought it was just very interesting facts that I learned and things that I never would have expected had I not done this research.
Okay, Emma.
I agree. I agree
You know
100%
what,
with that. I mean, I was just gonna say that I think it would be really cool. I mean, because we already know so much about the aquatic creatures that we have discovered in the lakes, rivers, freshwater, and in the oceans.
Mm-hmm.
But think about the ones that we can't really observe on a regular basis, the ones that are down beyond where the light reaches in the midnight zone, down in the abyss, the things that we haven't even discovered are there yet. I can only imagine the different behaviors and survival methods these fish have and live by. Not even just fish, but different aquatic creatures in general, especially in the ocean, in depths that have never been touched. It's going to be incredibly interesting in the future when we're able to develop technology a little bit more and make it easier and safer for us to be able to actually monitor and observe those creatures and document them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the discoveries are coming in all the time, and it's always very interesting to see new and different things that when we feel like we've got an idea of what sort of is out there, the different ways that things are done, the different behaviors that they exhibit. Yeah, it's great, and so we just barely scratched the surface here.
Yeah.
But I think it was a really fun one to do, just to challenge ourselves a little bit, to sort of go out there and think what are those behaviors that sort of make you smile, right? Or just cause you that's that thing that sort of keeps that. For me, it's stuff like this that kind of keeps that childhood curiosity going for the hobby.
For sure.
Yeah, Asia's right. I love the relationship between a pistol shrimp and a watchman goby. Yeah,
Oh,
very
yeah.
much that
Yes.
symbiotic relationship, right?
And
So
thanks to everyone coming out and playing the game.
and thanks for those that put ideas in here in chat of the different behaviors that they find so interesting. We've all got our favorites, and hopefully maybe you learned some stuff from what we were talking about tonight. And I know we certainly learned from what you were all telling us. So, I think that's what we've really developed here, a really great community where we can share things back and forth. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about it, when we have these types of discussions that we can go back and forth on.
Yes. Do you know who's going next? Is it Whip?
You said it was.
I did, but it is scheduled.
Is it scheduled? Let me verify that for you, sir. You just hold right up.
Hold more horses.
Yep. You need to hold those horses, please. I don't see it scheduled. No.
Huh. Maybe he's not. I was hoping.
While you guys are looking for that, I wanted to ask everybody to keep someone in your thoughts and prayers if you can, and his family. A friend of ours, Frank, some of you may know him, part of the fish community. He lives in Canada. Frank Schindler. He's been diagnosed with AML, which is acute myeloid leukemia. It's a very extremely aggressive form of cancer that is very unlikely to survive for a lot of people.
Wow.
They only gave him a few options, one of which was treatment only for pain, in which case he would potentially live about 14 days. And then the other two options were very aggressive treatment, which has a very high success rate, but very low survival rate during the treatment. And then the other option was less aggressive treatment that has a very low success rate and even less of a survival rate, and more of a likelihood for it to come back. So you guys just keep him in your thoughts and prayers if you would. His name is Frank again.
Right.
And the good news is he has chosen to fight it. He's chosen to go for the most aggressive treatment option.
Yeah.
So he's fighting that very aggressively with his family, his daughters and fiance. So if you guys would just keep him
Absolutely.
in your thoughts and prayers, please.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, wow. That's horrible.
If I didn't
Yeah, good
mention
night.
it as well, he's also part of the fish community.
Yeah. So yeah, we all send our thoughts and prayers his way. Thanks for bringing it up, Mariah.
I do want to, before we head out, I do want to let everyone know about the upcoming live streams. Next on this Saturday, for those that just started, this Saturday night live is canceled because I got a church event. There's a field trip happening. I'll be attending it, and then next Thursday I'll be at the event in San Antonio. So that won't happen. And also next Saturday, my Vibes. That's the same week of the convention. Also, it's not scheduled for that. So just letting you know. I probably post it on YouTube on my post public. I should. I don't forget about it. But
So the next time they'll see us is 2 Thursdays.
yeah, that would be the 19th.
Perfect.
Well, dang it, we just got back.
I know.
I know. My apologies, everyone.
It happens.
Oh,
It's okay.
I was just kidding.
Yeah. That just means
but-
we have extra time to plan another great one for 2 weeks
Right.
from now.
Yeah.
That's right.
But who knows? Next Thursday, it might just fall into place that I'm free and we can do a live stream, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. It'll happen.
Yeah.
So.
See what works
But-
out.
Like TJ said earlier, there's a good chance there's gonna be some footage or even a live stream at the event. So
Yep.
I'll be doing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. There's a good chance it's probably a pop up. If I do schedule it, it'll be a short schedule. It'll go live, whatever. But anyways, before we leave, TJ, what you got for us?
Yeah. Thanks guys for entertaining this topic. I thought it was just a really fun, kind of interesting one, and like I said, I learned a lot in the process of preparing for it. So I feel like that, kind of made it extra interesting for me. And thanks to everybody in chat for being here as always. You guys always bring so much really great energy and enthusiasm for what we do. Thank you for kicking in your own examples of things that you find interesting out there. And thanks to you two guys as always. Love these Thursday nights. We have such a good time. And Mariah, it's great to have you back. We know things have been busy with work, but I'm liking this. I'm liking this new scheduling where you're able to come join us. Hopefully more of that.
Yeah. And what you
I'm
got,
working on it.
Mariah?
Well, first of all, oh my gosh, we went 2 hours tonight, y'all. Look at that.
Yeah.
Um,
Special.
Yes, it is I'm very glad to be back. I missed you guys a lot. This is a very big decompression throughout the week for me to be able to hang out with you guys and just talk about the stuff that we enjoy. So I'm very happy to be back. And of course, y'all already know. Thanks for being here. Thanks for having me and putting up with our mess as always. And of course, as you guys know, treat others how you want to be treated. Do unto other people how you wish done unto you. And may God treat you how you treat animals and elders.
Amen. And thanks, TJ. Big shout out to TJ. He's the author of the topic tonight. So appreciate that. Thanks for Mariah coming back and joining us. And those watching Replay Crew, thanks. If you make this for in the replay, you're one of us now. So I appreciate you watching. Anyway, thanks to everyone coming out, to all the moderators, the friends that the new friends that we meet regularly. Anyways, like I said, hopefully I'll meet some of y'all next week at the event. And I got a new phrase for y'all before we head out.
Ooh.
Like my good friend Nirvana used to say, take care, friends. Until then, peace out.
Bye, everybody.